It is finally the time of the year where we start talking about all the things that have happened throughout this year. We start like tying the knot of like all the releases that have been, our favorite products, our least favorite product. Yesterday's video was my worst products of 2024. All the things that I've tried that I literally could not recommend less. So if you want to hear about those, that was yesterday's video, and I will leave that link down below as well, or just check back on like yesterday's video. Today we're going to talk about the best products of 2024. If you've not been here before, my name is Angelica and I review makeup on YouTube, and I put up quite a lot of videos each month. I put up quite a lot of videos trying, reviewing, and letting you know which products are worth picking up versus not. And now we're going to talk about all the products that I have tried this year that I think have been released this year that I truly 10 out of 10 recommend. And I tried to keep it to the things that are newly released of this year. I also did do a mid-year best and worst of 2024 so far. I will also leave that one link. I might leave these in a pinned comment actually, because usually my description box is filled with all of these products that I'm going to be talking about. Everything that I mentioned is going to be down in the description box. But these are products that have been living in my purse, going traveling with me, that I've been reaching for again and again and again. Things that I really love. Let's start with like primers and work our way into like lip products and eye products, and then we'll do, I have so many fragrances. I've discovered so many fragrances this year. It's honestly crazy. This makeup look is already live on my channel. I did use the Polar Express palette by Nomad Cosmetics. I will leave a link to this makeup look down below because like I said, you can already find that one. And I am wearing, I'm pulling out this really big box in front of me. I am wearing quite a few of these products today. One of the things that I'm wearing is the One Size Oil Sucker Extreme Mattifying Primer. This is such a good mattifying primer. I am going to keep it short and sweet. This is the best mattifying primer I've ever tried in my life. It truly keeps your oils at bay. It elongates your makeup. If you are battling with, I have a very oily T-zone, and if you're battling with that, this one truly makes a difference, elongates your makeup, and makes you have to worry less about your makeup. Because I feel if you are battling with oily skin, I feel like you're always having in the back of your head, should I see a mirror? Do I need to be blotting? Do I need to be applying some powder? And this one makes you think about that less. I also tried the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. You can see I've used this quite a lot. The water powder serum. This also works really great. It is not as mattifying as this one, but what this one has going for it is that this one is a liquid. It's like a water, so this one mixes really good with other primers if you want to use more than one kind of a primer. If you want to use this one like underneath and then use like a pore filling primer on top of it, this one is really good for like mixing and matching different primers together. Overall, these are good products. If you have oily skin, there've truly been some really good products for oily skin this year. Speaking of products for oily skin, I'm also wearing this one today, and this is the One Size Turn Up the Base Full Coverage Foundation. I'm wearing this one today. I'm actually mixing this because I am not in my summer shade right now. I am definitely coming into my winter shade, and this is a light medium, I think. This is a light 40. So this, I think this is one of their darker lights, because I'm pretty sure that One Size has like light, medium. They don't have like light, medium or something like that. This one works really good for me. Like I said, this is more of a summer shade, so I did have to mix it with something a smidge lighter to get it to work for me today, because I am definitely not as dark as I was in the summer. Love being by the pool. This is a mattifying foundation that truly holds up. You don't even need a mattifying primer with this one. It's just such a good, you can trust this foundation. Will say though, it is full coverage, but I am so impressed with this one. And if you are oily skin gal, check out One Size. Their loose powder also, it's not new for this year, but that is the best mattifying powder I've ever used as well. So if you have oily skin, you really need to check out One Size. I also really love this one. This is the Urban Decay Face Bond. I have it in 17 medium warm. Again, this is my summer shade, but you can see I've used this a lot. It's like, it's starting to, I mean, I've used this so much. I even wonder how much is left of this one. This is also a full coverage, or like a medium to full coverage. You can definitely shear this out a little bit if you want to. This one is less, like this one is more liquidy than this is, but this is also one of those. You can truly trust this one, and especially if you wear a mattifying primer under, you can wear this for 12 plus hours. I think it looks full coverage, but great on the skin and holds up beautifully, and I've been loving this one. I also really love the packaging with the little squeeze thing. I think that's a really good one. When it comes to low coverage foundations, I've had two favorites that I've found this year, and I love both of these, and I've traveled with both of these. It is the BB Stick by ABH, and this is an oil-based BB cream and a stick. This one I love applied best with my fingers or a very sheer base with a brush, and it just looks like a sheer coverage of like, not dewy, but it does look almost fresh on your skin, like you just applied skincare, and it feels like skincare on your skin as well. There's something about this, how it looks, how it holds up, how it like doesn't really bunch up on your skin or dry out or look cakey on your skin. Don't try to build this one up though. It is a sheer coverage. There's just something about this. It just looks so believable and natural and healthy on your skin. Really, really like this one. And even though this one doesn't keep you matte, it doesn't make you greasy either, which is what I thought because it was oil-based. But I guess it's something with this being oil-based and your oils on your skin. There's just something, there's kind of work in symbiosis with each other, and it just feels and looks very healthy on your skin. And I have friends that have dry skin that really like this one too. I just think that that one was a really unexpected favorite. I also really, really love the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfecting Essence. You see, I've used a lot of this one. I've been traveling with this one as well. I have mine in medium, I think. Yes, I have mine in medium. This one I use in the shade 7, but I actually probably could go a shade darker in the summer, but that I should be more honest about these things as well. Both of these products, the Face Bond and the ABH stick, I did do sponsored videos with them, but it's because I love the products. This video is not sponsored. I don't have to mention anything in this video that I don't want to. I'm mentioning my actual favorites that I've been traveling and using and loving this year, and these two are part of that, but I did do a sponsored video with them because I love them. This one, this is a sheer coverage, and I like wearing this. Either I can use this both with my fingers. I've been using my hands when I've been traveling this one. It's honestly sheer coverage, look healthy on the skin, holds up really good on me, it doesn't keep me matte in any way, shape or form, but also doesn't make me look overly greasy. And it has this way of just looking like my skin, but better. And I use it with my fingers, I use it with a sponge, with a brush. It works great with everything. And I just think that this is a killer product, and it's from the drugstore, and I highly recommend if you're looking for something sheer for your skin. I actually only have, no, that's not true. I have 2 concealers. One of them is the one I'm wearing today. This is the Refi concealer. I have it in number 6, which is way too light for me. I don't know why I got this shade, because it is truly too light for me. But again, I had a foundation on that was a smidgen too dark for me, so I kind of made it work. Do really love this formula though. This is one of the less creasing concealers on me. It is a medium coverage, very light and serum-like, and it doesn't crease on me. And I think it's just a truly fantastic formula. If you have a lot of fine lines under your eyes, this one I use not too much, of course. I don't overdo it with concealer, but even if I use it a little bit more, if I just set it with a thin layer of powder, this one doesn't crease on me. So if you have problems with creasing, I would try the Refi one. It's really good. The second one I have is the Yummy Skin. This one I have in 6, but I also know I have a darker color that I have used in the summer. This is a little bit more full coverage, and this is not liquidy. This is a little bit more, not creamy. It reminds me a little bit of the House Labs concealer, if you have tried that one. It's like thicker but self-setting. It's a little bit of almost, I don't want to call it drier formula, but in lack of better words, I'm gonna go with drier formula. It's somewhat self-setting. You don't need a lot of powder, but with this one, if I do overdo it, it will crease on me. But if I only use a little bit, this is a really good full coverage concealer, and I really, really do like it. And these have been my 2 concealers that I've tried this year that I've really, really enjoyed. I have 1 cream bronzer to mention. I have 2 liquid bronzers to mention. I feel like I was actually surprised that there was no powder bronzer this year that I've truly been enjoying, but I've been using my other powder bronzers from other years, of course, and enjoying them, but it wasn't any powder bronzer that was releasing this year that I was like head over heels for. Not that I can remember. This is the chocolate stick that was released by Too Faced. I have mine in, I think, chocolate souffle. This smells like chocolate oranges in such a believable way that I just want to bite a bit off. I'm wearing this bronzer today on the perimeter of my face. I think this is a beautiful, you can go more sheer with this one. You can get a very intense bronze with this one. If you want to go more sheer, I would dot your brush in and do like this, but you can also draw it on your skin if you want to. I think it comes in 4 different colors. I think I have number 2 in the colors. I've really been enjoying this one. And when it comes to liquid bronzers, I have been going on and on about the Makeup by Mario, and you can see I've used a lot. Makeup by Mario liquid bronzer. This is sheer. Super sheer, and I feel my journey this year with bronzer have been less is more. I've been really enjoying a sheer bronze. I have not been enjoying those like super visible stripes. Remember we did those 2015, 16, 17, you know, the stripe. Have not been enjoying that. So for that reason, a sheer bronzer love it. You can mix it with foundation if it's too light for you and you want to get a little bit of tan in there. You can, this has a pump and it also has a doe foot, and I think that both of them I've used depending on what kind of result I'm looking for. I quite honestly think that this is a genius product if you are looking for a sheer bronzer. If you want a liquid bronzer and you don't want a sheer bronzer, I honestly would recommend, what are these called? Hot Shot cream bronzers by Morphe. This comes in a somewhat similar bottle to the ones from Urban Decay. They're somewhat similar. I do think that this one is a similar, do you remember the Bite blushes? Didn't they have a bottle like this? Oh, this one is like overflowing a little bit. Oopsie daisy. This is a more pigmented cream bronzer. And oh, I'm gonna have to go and clean my hands. This is a more pigmented bronzer, and this is more gel-like in formula. So you can sheer it out, you can blend it in with anything, but if you want to have a cream bronzer and you want something that is slightly more pigmented, this will be the one, because it is more pigmented than the Makeup by Mario one, but also for that reason, it is a little bit less forgiving than the Makeup by Mario one. But if you're looking for something that's slightly more pigmented, this might be the one. It doesn't look powdery on the skin, and neither does the Makeup by Mario, but it's not sticky on the skin. None of these creamy or liquidy products are sticky on the skin, because I cannot do sticky on the skin. If you want to know which products I have tried that have been sticky this year to avoid, that was yesterday's video. I had a couple. I went through the blushes that I was going to talk about, and I realized I am lying to you. I actually did put in something here. This one, I'm putting in a little caveat, but because this is probably also why I didn't mention it, but this one I just recently have been using so much, and this is it's like a gel powder bronzer. You can see how much I've been using this. This is from Nomad Beauty. I have it in Malibu Muse. I didn't think I was gonna like this one. And then RMS reached out to me and they wanted to do a sponsored video with me, and I started trying out their products, and I am obsessed with especially this bronzer. I use this one either on its own, or I use it as a bronzer topper when I want to have just an easy out the door. And even this one with just a loose brush over a very easy no makeup look, it's just so fresh and healthy. It has this beautiful glow that is a glow without being, it's not like this. It's not metallic, it's not highlighty. It is just this healthy, natural glow that just gives you a one and done on your cheeks if you want that. And if I use a denser brush, I can build it up. If I use a looser brush, I can use it as like a topper. Truly, I am amazed by this formula. I know I apologize to all of you right now. So many of you were telling me you're sleeping on this gel to powder cream formula from RMS, and you're right. I love the highlighter and the blush too, but the bronzer, I've been using it all the time. It's been staying on my desk since I filmed this video, which was like, what, a month or a half ago? Use it all the time, absolutely love it. I cannot recommend it enough. And I know I was a little bit skeptical when I talked about this first, but listen, I am not above admitting my own mistakes. I did sleep on this one. It's really good. And before we get into blushes, let me talk about two powders that I have. First one I've talked about a lot actually, and I'm wearing this one today, and this is the Tower 28 pressed powder that they came out with. This is beautiful. It sets your concealers, it makes it not crease, it gives you a somewhat matte, but not like hyper matte. It's still a powder that I think dry skin people could definitely get away with. It's just a very finely milled, blurring, nice powder that sets and mattes things without making them flat and without looking heavy. Because I feel like some powders have a tendency of looking very heavy, not this one. Really recommend the Tower 28. And also, I'm putting this with powder, but quite honestly, this is a powder foundation, and this is from Natasha Denona. This one comes with a little sponge at the bottom, but I will say I have not been using that sponge. I have been using this powder like this. I've been using it with a fluffy brush and basically been doing like skincare, letting the skincare sink in a little bit, doing a fluffy brush all over my face, and just having like a fresh sheer coverage with that. It's been holding up really good on me. It's been perfect throughout the spring and summer months, and I've been wearing this one a lot. I think it's beautiful. I've been traveling with it. It also works with a fluffy brush on top of like a sheer coverage like skin tint or something if you want to set it down and just get a hint more of coverage. I think this is beautiful. I don't like it with the sponge though, because I think that this one looks better sheer than it does like more built up to like a medium-ish coverage. When it comes to blushes, I have to mention my own blushes by Cinch Beauty. Cinch Beauty is an indie brand. Almost lost one. Cinch Beauty is an indie brand that is owned by me. It's my own indie brand, so this part should be seen as like a little bit sponsored because I do love these, but I also own this brand. I love my blushes. I mean, I created these blushes. Clearly, I'm a fan of this formula. This is more of a satin blush. These are called silk blushes. So these have a sheen to them, but you cannot see any metallic formula. You cannot see any sparkles or visible glitter particles in this one. It is basically a satin formula that is not fully matte. And it is a buildable formula, meaning that you can sheer it out or you can build it up and get it to be a little bit more pigmented. It comes in 4 different shades. Of course, I'm a big fan of these. I created these. I think they're absolutely amazing. I know you've been telling me that you want to see more colors. I'm hoping to release more colors in the future because I'm very happy that you seem to love this as much as I do. Clearly, I'm a little bit biased. I am wearing the Riveting Rhubarb today on my cheeks. And I'm wearing a highlighter on top as well. This is the warm corally pink that we have. Been really enjoying this one. So of course I'm a little bit biased, but I did create what I think is a really great blush formula, so I had to mention it. I also have to say I'm so impressed, and I keep mentioning this all the time, but I'm so impressed with the summer release that Makeup by Mario did. He released some of his favorite formulas. I think it only was the glowy lipsticks, like the gloss in a stick, and these balm blushes in really poppy colors for the summer, and it was such a hit. So I have the orange one that is called Papaya Pop, and then I have this one that's called Paradise Pink. The way I've been using this throughout the summer, I even traveled with these. I think they're so fun. I have been really enjoying like a glowy, bright cheek with a bright lip and a no eyeshadow, no like even mascara kind of a look, and these have been perfect for that. I just think that these colors were so good, and I thought that that whole release, absolute hit. I also, do I have any more blushes here? Oh yeah, I have the Juvia's Place blush. I'm wearing a little bit of this too. I was just mixing and matching a lot of things. I have the Riveting Rhubarb. I have this one. I have a highlighter on top. This one is a glowy blush by Juvia's Place. I like this one so much more than I like the matte blush that they came up with, because this one has a little bit of a sheen to it. And this is definitely more like highlighty, metallic-ish than my blushes are, but I really think these are super beautiful. I also really love this one. This also has more of a highlighty metallic sheen. This is also from the drugstore. This is the Lumi blush by L'Oreal. I have mine, I think it's called Warm Pink. Glowy Gold Pink, close enough. These are so beautiful. I have only tried the glowy formula. I haven't tried the one that doesn't have shimmer in it. These are so nice though, and I will say, I think both of these on the cheeks give a fairly similar result to the glowy formula from Charlotte Tilbury, at least to the point where it's like, if you have these, you really don't have to buy those from Charlotte Tilbury. I think both of these are metallic, like glowy blushes that are truly, truly beautiful. If you're looking for a blush that is more like, almost like the Singe blushes, but in a liquid formula, these from Huda Beauty are really nice. They did come up with a couple of new colors. I have one of the bronze ones. I actually wore this one yesterday. And then I have 2 of the more like peachy, corally ones that came out. These liquid blushes have a little bit of a sheen to them, but they still dry down. So not sticky or like dewy or glossy in that way. They have a little bit of a sheen to them, almost like the Singe blushes, where you can't really detect it, but it's there, giving your cheeks this glow. If they were to come out with some cool tones for spring, I think that this range could be amazing, because for being a mainstream brand, only coming out with that few shades is a little bit unusual, but it is a really great formula. And if you're looking for something that doesn't have any kind of satiny to them, but still doesn't look matte on the cheeks, the Glaminatrix liquid blushes are so good. I've been using these so much, and I've been actually really enjoying mixing these with the liquid highlighter as well, because how they look on the skin, how they blend out, how they wear, how they look, how they feel. Again, they don't dry down powdery, but they're not sticky. It almost feels like a little bit like almost skincare on your skin. These are so good. I don't know what magic Glaminatrix put in these liquid blushes. And I also have a liquid highlighter. This is expensive, but at least I think this is worth the money. And this is the Forever Glow Maximizer by Dior. I have it in peachy. It is this beautiful peachy, glowy highlighter. I can wear this as like a somewhat peachy sheer blush. It doesn't give too much blood. It doesn't give this much color to the cheeks, but there's a little bit of peachiness to it. This one mixes. I can wear this on top of powder blush. It is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous glowy formula. Absolutely 10 out of 10 recommend. It is expensive though. I always recommend this one when Sephora is having a little bit of a sale, because then you can get some money off, because it is definitely not affordable. I also really loved the glowy formula that the Nasamairis came out with. This is a highlighter blush hybrid. So this definitely does give glow to the cheeks. There's definitely a little bit of metallicness in this. This is beyond a satin blush. And I have two colors. I have it in low key. This one I bought myself, and then I did get in PR the unbothered one, which is a pink one, and you can see there is like an almost like duochrome metallic sheen in here. These give enough color to be a blush and a highlighter all in one. I think this is a beautiful formula. This one does dry down. It has Absolite in it, so it won't give any oiliness to your skin. So if you have oily skin and you want to try a cream blush with some metallic sheen to them, these are the ones. They will definitely keep you not oily. And I cannot finish up this video without mentioning the absolute obsession that I've had with the new Fenty highlighters this year. This one is in Prosecco. I do have it in two different colors. I have Yum Rum as well. This is the one I'm wearing on my cheeks today, up top of the blushes. These formulas are so beautiful. They are pigmented, but you can sheer it out, or you can build it up to be this like just, it looks wet. It's like glass skin. It's so beautiful. It is very finely milled. Again, you can do just a little bit and sheer it out. You can really intensify it depending on the kind of tool that you bring. I have used this one with a blush brush to just have a sheer layer on top of my blush, and just looks like a juicy, like sweaty cheek. This formula, 10 out of 10, cannot recommend it enough. I think this is my favorite powder formula highlighter right now. That's a bold statement, but I think that's true. Let's get into some lip products. And when I was collecting my favorites, I actually realized that none of the new lip liner formulas that released this year really caught my eye. I feel like I am a little bit picky when it comes to lip liners, and I do have some favorites, but the favorites that I have are the ones that I mentioned in last year's favorites. Those are still my favorites. I did mention a couple formulas that I didn't like though in yesterday's video about the worst products of the year. So if you're interested in seeing what was not my flavor, that is definitely in there. Let's start with what I have on my lips today. I can't believe that this one didn't become more popular than it is. These are the colored bombs by Bare Minerals. I have it today in Friendship. I have been traveling with these. They're so comfortable. They are a balm, so they're very nourishing on the lips, and I do feel like they last pretty long. They do have a color. You can do it sheer, you can build it up. You can see today I'm wearing it with a lip liner, and it has pretty good color to it, but it still doesn't totally cover up like your lip color. And this one that I brought is Strength. This is more like a reddish coral. All of these colors, I like all of these colors. I've been loving them so much. They've been living in my purse. I've been bringing them traveling. I've been wearing them so much, and even at home wearing when I want to like go do my makeup to go to the grocery store or to go run do errands. I've been wearing these. I don't know why these weren't more popular. I was sent all of these, and I gotta tell you, absolutely been loving them. I think they're really good. One formula that is still a big favorite of mine, and I brought this one up from my purse. You can see I've used this a lot. This is the Naturium Phyto Glow Lip Balms. They released some new colors this year. This one is in Mango. They also released a red one. Those have been absolutely amazing, because if there's one thing, it smells so good. If there's one thing I really love, it is an orange or a red sheer glowy lip without sparkle, and these are truly delivering on that. And I love the Phyto Glow lip balms. They're an affordable lip balm that is very nourishing on the lips. It stays on for a bit without being tacky, and comes in really great colors. And speaking of sheer red orange lips, we're talking again summer collection by Makeup by Mario. Say it with me, these colors were so fun. I got a sheer red in Cherry, absolutely love it. It just smelled a little sweet. And then I got the tangerine one, the orange one. These are so nice. Again, they're a sheer, say it with me, orange and red sheer lip with glow and no sparkles. Absolutely beautiful. And it's the same with this one. Look at how much I've used this one. This is the Clinique Oil in Cherry. This is a red, sheer red lip, glowy, no sparkle. Absolutely love these. And these are the ones that I've been using a lot this year. I've been loving a juicy colored lip that is a little bit transparent, leaning on the reddish orange way, no sparkles. I've been just really enjoying that. But when I haven't been wearing that, I have been really into, and I have to be honest, matte lips. I do know that these were released late last year, but I tried it this year. And these are the Velvets by ABH. These were released late last year, and I tried them this year, and they released more colors this year. And I think this is the best matte lipstick formula I have ever tried. My favorites are Peachy Amber, this is Parchment, and I think this is one is called, yeah, Peachy Nude. This is the lighter one that I prefer. It has a little bit of a beigey peach tint to it. And then the two like warmer, darker ones. There is a red one that came out now as well. I still haven't tried that one, and I really, really want to. I'm thinking maybe we're having a Christmas party here soon, so I'm thinking maybe for that one will be a good time. But this formula is beautiful. They're called the Lip Velvets. They come in a bunch of colors. I wish they would come in even more colors. And I just truly think they're so incredibly good. They're a matte lip formula that looks dead matte on the lips. They are opaque, you can sheer them out, but you can make them opaque, but they don't dry down. So they're very comfortable on the lips, and they're moussey and beautiful, and you can rub your lips together without it bunching up and looking uneven. 11 out of 10 recommend. I also really enjoy, and these are not fully opaque, but I kind of really enjoy that. These are the Benefit Matte Lip Tints. I have it in a French Toast and Quilty Pleasure. This one I just bought. It is like more of a like an orangey coral shade. It's super beautiful. This one can be sheer and it dries down to be a matte lip tint. But unlike some other matte lip tints, and I know a lot of Asian brands do this as well, this might be a little bit easier for you to go in and swatch in store if you want to. They don't dry out your lips. So you can use this one and you can build it up to be an almost opaque if you want to, or you can do a sheer layer. I like wearing this one, a sheer layer with a nude lip liner around. I think that gives just this beautiful look on the lips. Super beautiful, super flattering, doesn't feel drying on the lips. Very sophisticated formula. Again, really love. From the drugstore, these are the new satin lipsticks from Makeup Revolution. They sent all of these to me. I swatched all of them, and honestly, there are some banger colors in here. And I saved quite a few of them actually. And I have here, this is Divine Brown. This is probably the one I've been using the most. It is like a warm mid-tone beige. It's really pretty, like on me. It's like a slightly darker nude. And then we have Wifey Dusky Pink, which has been a more mauve color that I've been reaching for when I've been wanting to have something that's a nude that's leaning a little pink without being too pink. This is a very nice thin glowy formula without being glossy, without being tuggy, without being thick, and it feels so wonderful on the lips, and it is opaque but still thin. If it's like a glowy lip formula and it's like bunching up on the lips or like just starting to become uneven because there's so much on the lips, I don't like that. This is opaque, thin, comfortable, and affordable. Let's talk about some eye products. I have two different kind of eyeliners to recommend to you. First of all, this is the best white and beige eyeliner I've ever tried in my life. I don't even know. I think I mentioned this in last year's favorite, but I have not replaced them. And I bought even a backup, like not a backup, I bought a second one of the new ones this year. Just, these are so good. They're from Tarte. They're called the Fake Awake. I wish they had more colors. If they would release this formula in pastels for spring, quite honestly, that would be a hit, like an absolute hit. These are so good though. If you're looking for white or beige, these are from Tarte. Quite honestly, absolutely 10 out of 10. Don't know if I mentioned them last year, but I keep reaching for them a lot and I rebought them. So, I mean, that says something. I'm pretty certain at least that these released this year. And these are the Streamline eyeliners by Makeup Revolution. I bought these ones myself, and I actually recently bought two more colors. I bought the beige one and I bought the purple one because I love these so much. These are meant for the waterline. They are very creamy, and on me they last really long in the waterline. They are such beautiful colors, super creamy. On me they're very opaque, last a long time, and I think they're beautiful. Definitely if you're looking for some colored waterline eyeliners at a more affordable price, these ones, I think they're called Streamline. Yes, Streamline eyeliners from Makeup Revolution. They come in more colors as well. Absolutely recommend. Usually in these favorites of the year videos, I show you the top 5 of my rankings when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. Here's the thing, I have not even started to prepare for that video. I am gonna film that in like a week because I need some time to like really process that one. I every year do a full ranking where I rank all the palettes that I've tried this year from least favorite to my absolute tippity top favorite, but I haven't started doing that one yet. So what I will say, there will be a video probably next week where I do that video. If you want to see me talk about my favorite eyeshadow palettes, it's going to be a chunky one, so stay tuned until next week. That one is coming. There is a lot of good palettes though, and that's the main reason why I haven't dug into it yet, because I know there are too many good palettes. It's going to be so hard to do that ranking. But again, this is my own brand, but my own brand, Sinch Beauty, we did release our own first palette this year, and this is the Galactic Visitor. It has some metallic on it, it has some shiny, it is a soft touch matte packaging, and I am so proud of this one because of course this is the palette that I created, and I know I wanted to start somewhere. There is, I don't know, some of these are so reflective. There is 2 duochrome toppers, there is 3 metallics, although I will say this metallic does have a little bit of a slight duochrome to it. There is some purple in here as well, and then there's this really pretty holographic duochrome that's just really beautiful, and then a bunch of mattes. It's really hard when you do a palette on your own to be like, where do I want to start? Like what represents the brand? What do I want to start with? So I started with something that represents me, the owner of Sinch Beauty. And I love this. I love the quality. I love the color story. I love the combinations that you can do in here. So clearly I'm very biased and also very in love with this palette, saying that this is clearly one of my favorites. And I can tell you right now, this is by a long shot my most used palette of the year, because clearly I've been using this one a lot. This one is available right now. I will link down below in case you're interested, but again, this is my own brand. But I'm so happy with this, and again, I'm so happy that this is where I started with my brand, that this is the first palette that we're releasing. I just think it looks and when you get it, you'll feel it. It feels very professional, sturdy, luxurious, and I'm very proud of like the artwork that we have on. I'm very proud of the finishes of it and how everything is turned out, and I cannot wait to show you what's coming in the future. But this is part 1. Now I'm going to talk about 1 hair care product, 1 skincare product, because I'm going to be honest, most of the things that I use for my skin and for my hair has been the same for some time. That's actually not true. I have 2 skincare products here, but I'm gonna mention 1, and I've talked about this a lot this year, and this is the K18 Air Wash Dry Shampoo. There is some kind of magic in this one. It comes out, it's not an aerosol, it's like a pump spritz, and it comes out wet on the hair, and you're supposed to shake the bottle, pump like 1 or 2 spritzes where you feel like you need a little bit of freshening up, where your hair is starting to get a little oily, wait for it to dry, brush it out, and whatever magic is in this one, ta-da, it's done. Your hair feels nice again. This can prolong like my in-between washes with like 2-3 days, which is truly amazing because I hate washing my hair. I hate styling my hair. This is so good. It is expensive, but dang, it really works. And again, you don't need as much as you need with some other dry shampoos, and it leaves no residue on my hair. It doesn't feel like I have dry shampoo in it. It just feels like the oil disappeared. Again, magic. Absolutely love it. One thing that I've really truly been enjoying this year is the Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Toner. I don't know if you can see that I'm halfway done. I will say, I don't use skincare every day. I don't know if you're supposed to admit that. I mean, I feel like skincare is one of those things, if you have problematic skin, you're probably going to work even harder on your skincare to make things work for you. I have pretty carefree skin. I don't have dry skin. I do have eczema sometimes, but I use medicine for that. I don't use skincare for that. And overall, my skin is usually not acting up. I don't get really breakouts or stuff like that, but sometimes I do a really nice skincare routine. And I will say, using this essence, I have noticed, first of all, it dries down really quickly, and it does work really well with my other skincare ingredients. When I wake up in the morning, my skin does feel even nicer and even fresher, and I just really have been enjoying adding this into my routine, also because it's a very easy step to add in. It dries in quickly on your skin, and this is an essence that is meant to boost the ingredients of your other skincare products. So this is gonna help tone and brighten your skin, but it also helps enhance the other ingredients in your other skincare. And I've really been enjoying this. And as I said, I'm a very easygoing skincare person, and this year I was sponsored by Torridon, and they gave me this serum, and I have been using this almost every time I do my makeup. I do 1 or 2 or 3 drops of this one, and it is like a moisturizing serum that is made specifically to work with layering with makeup. This dries out like very quickly into your skin, which is great for me who has oily skin, because I cannot have something too moisturizing on my skin before makeup because my skin is going to get super oily. So this one works super good for me together with skincare because it dries down, but it still keeps my skin feeling fresh and hydrated. And because my skin feels hydrated without being greasy oily, this actually prolongs my makeup, because some of the oils can come from you being dehydrated as well. So this one, I've just been really enjoying this one. It just really works great with my makeup routine. I used it today before makeup, let it sink in for like 2-3 minutes, go in with primer, go in with foundation, no problems. Been really enjoying this one. I've been using this a lot, and I will repurchase once I use it up. Okay, let's get into fragrances, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fragrances to talk about. So I'm gonna try and not speed through them, but I'm gonna try and not linger too long on them and explain to you why these are my favorites. I think most of these were actually released this year, and I know at least this one, because this one I got as a Christmas gift in 2024 from my husband. This might have been released in 2024, but I fell in love with it during 2023. What year is this? I am so confused. Last year. I got this as a Christmas present last year, and I think it was released last year, but I fell in love with it this year. This is Faces by Francis by Wilhelm Perfumery. And this one is this is a signature scent. If you love this one, this could so easily be a signature scent, because I've never smelled anything like this. It is such an interesting and almost like alluring, sexy, but so different. Like, she's different. This girl, she's different. She's not like the other ones. This is quite literally a fragrance version of She's Not Like Other Girls, in a good way. I love this one. This is pistachio, amber, and juniper resin, which in itself gives a very woody and almost like outdoorsy pistachio perfume. This is not a gourmand. They also have aldehydes in here, which is literally the scent of the outdoors. So this is taking your pistachio for a walk in a juniper forest. It's absolutely delicious and warm, and yeah, it's been a very signature scent for me. I'm trying to not use too much of it because unfortunately it's pretty expensive. This one is the Curatrix Anti-Hero, and it's the same with this one. I've been trying to not use too much of it because it is so delicious, and I have a Scentbird thing. I got this one, I want to say earlier in the beginning of the summer. I no longer have Scentbird for obvious reasons. But this was one of the latest ones, if not the last one that I got from Scentbird, and I actually wished for this one for Christmas. I don't want to use the sample of. This is if Jazz Club from Replica had a baby with Angel Share from Killian. This is boozy and spicy and smoky. It smells like a boozy apple pie with spices that you brought to a smoky cigar bar. It's so sexy. It is so femme fatale. It is just this girl is cool. You want to hang out with this girl. You want to go to nightclubs with this girl. She will show you all the hidden ones. A very sexy femme fatale scent that I've been absolutely in love with. One of the scents that I mentioned in my best and worst of 2024 so far was From the Garden by Replica. This was my spring and summer's fragrance. I've been traveling with this one. This is, and if you ever wanted to try tomato leaves, but you don't want to blind buy it, go to Sephora and smell this one. This is tomato leaves mixed with like almost zesty red berries. This is red currant, at least to me. This is the notes that I'm smelling. This is very green, and it is tomato leaves, tomato vines, and red berries. It is very garden-esque. This is a Nordic garden. It's giving me spring summer feelings. It is very unique. This is if you were wanting a outdoorsy green fragrance, but you don't love florals. This one is for you. That is definitely me. This was my spring from summer fragrance. Absolutely love it. Together with this one. This is the Kayali Maui in a bottle. I've used a lot of this one. This one has been traveling with me. This has notes of sweet banana, which gives it a very different sweet fruity note. There's also some pear in here, and I will say I don't really smell the pear, but to me this is a tropical vanilla woody coconut scent that has added banana to it, which makes it a tropical warm fun summer fragrance with a twist, because the banana in there just really makes this into something sweet, creamy, coconutty, tropical, but with a twist. And I really love this one. And since then, they have started selling this one on its own. Like you can buy this fragrance on its own, which I think is a really good idea. I also really, really enjoy, and this is, I've used a lot of this one. This is Soda Snob by Sniff. This one smells like a Coca-Cola. So the Soda Snob is meant to be like a fizzy Coke. What I will say, this one is more spicy because my favorite Coca-Cola scent is the Lab on Fire Paris LA. That one to me is a little bit more of a fresher, true fizzy Coke drink. This one is a little bit more spicy. When you spray this on your arm, it is literally gonna smell like a fizzy Coke. But the fizzy Coke, I wish this had a little bit more citrus in it because I feel like that's the part that's slightly missing for making it even more authentic in the long run. What you're left with is a very spicy scent, and it is truly beautiful. But this is a fizzy Coke scent that is leaning very spicy. But honestly, I think this is so cool. This is from the secret menu from Sniff. They do have a secret menu. They have one that smells like croissant. They have one that smells like pizza. I've not smelled that one. And they also have the Naughty Nonna. I did buy that one. I'm still in the process of trying that one. And I don't love it as much as something else I'm going to show you here that's new to my collection. But that one is like a ginger fruit cake with booze. It's nice, but it is not as nice as this one. And this is new in my collection, and I've only used this a couple of times. I'm wearing this one today, and this is House of Marseille, and this is Un Nuit Parisienne. This is so good. I smelled this one and I was like, wow, what a scent. And since I got this one, I've been trying to use the other samples. Oh my God, I got this one in PR. I will say, this is, oh my God, I'm not even starting from the beginning. This is Marlena Stell's new brand, and she is the owner, former owner of Makeup Geek, and no, Makeup Geek is no longer, and now it is House of Marseille. They are actually coming out with beauty next year, she said. Right now they have 3 perfumes and 3 essences, and I was sent the Discovery set, and I was sent this one full size and one of the essences full size. I've tried everything in the Discovery set. Some of them are very interesting florals. If you love florals and you want to have an interesting florals, I think you can find some really interesting ones in here. Florals aren't my favorite, but this one, this is like she plucked it out of my brain. It's so interesting. It is black tea, chai spices, and it has this boozy note in there. I don't even know if it's supposed to be a boozy note, but it smells almost like an interesting black tea chai version of Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. And I say that in the best way possible. I actually think that this is even more long wearing than that one, and it's more interesting than that one. Because this one opens up with like black tea and spices, and it is so delicious. I should actually look at the official notes of this one, if it is, because I'm pretty sure that it is chai spices and black tea, and I can definitely scent that. But I'm kind of wondering what they describe that like warm booziness in the background. Parisienne. Let's see what they say. Yeah, they say hazelnut. Okay, it's a little bit of a nuttiness in there, definitely. Masala chai, plum. I don't necessarily smell the plum. Benzoin, damask rose, black tea, definitely. Sandalwood, labdanum, vanilla, musk. Yeah, it's definitely that warm, woody, sweet vanilla in the background. It's almost giving me like cognac. And I mean that in the best way possible. It is such a good scent. I've only had this one for about a week and a half as I'm filming this. So take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, but I can tell you already, this is date night fragrance. This woman knows what she wants. This woman, she doesn't need you to pay her check. Like when you're going to dinner, she will split it, or she might even pay the check for the both of you. She is cool, she is confident, she is sexy. Again, this is a femme fatale. And it's so interesting with that, like the chai spices and the black tea. 10 out of 10, so beautiful. They do have a discovery set on the website. I definitely recommend you checking that one out. And if you like florals and you want to have some interesting florals, there are some really cool ones in there that have a little bit of a twist to it. This is the scent that I also fell absolutely head over heels for. This is Old Fashioned by Kilian. This smells like an old fashioned. It smells like bourbon, like bitter citrus oranges, and a little bit of sweetness in there. It's sugar, bitter orange, bourbon. And I don't know how to explain, because it doesn't sound that delightful when I say it, but they truly were able to make the old-fashioned drink into this most intoxicating fragrance that is so beautiful. I feel like everybody and their mama is doing a citrus fragrance, but they truly went in and did an amazing and unique citrus fragrance, which I don't want to say it's unheard of, but they went and thought about this a little bit different, because they made old-fashioned into a fragrance and the result is spectacular. So if you like citrus fragrances and you want to have something that's a little bit different, I cannot recommend this one enough. Again, you can find this one at Sephora, and a smaller one. You might even be able to smell it inside Sephora. But oh, this is such a nice, almost like an evening time citrus fragrance, and this is definitely unisex. This is definitely unisex as well. I think the Faces by Francis, quite honestly, is unisex as well. It's, oh my gosh, this smells so. 2024 has been a good year for fragrances. Let me know which ones were your favorites this year. Do you agree with me on any of these? Do you disagree with me on any of these? And also, if you are interested in eyeshadow palettes, there's going to be a super juicy, probably 1 hour plus, probably 100 palettes plus video that's coming next week. So don't forget to subscribe to not miss that. If you're wondering about any of these products, they're going to be both in the YouTube shopping and in the description box down below. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon.